Now, it's coming up on 9:33. 5 years ago now, flight controllers at Dulles Airport have finally spotted the faint radar target that is American Airlines Flight 77, moving in excess of 500 miles an hour, and within about 4 minutes from now, 5 years ago, would crash into the Pentagon, killing 189. CNN's Jamie McIntyre is at the Pentagon with more. Jamie?
And 5 years ago, Miles, I was in the building. My first inclination was to stay in the Pentagon to report the story, but very quickly after the plane hit, I realized I had to get out. Before I left my Pentagon office, I took a picture of the smoke filling the empty hallway. Outside, Rumsfeld's car stood ready to whisk him away, but he never left. I snapped another photo as loudspeakers warned another plane was heading to the Pentagon. It never came. The sky was blue and cloudless as the smoke plume grew. By the time I got to the crash site, the side of the building had already collapsed. All that's left of the original damage now is this blackened piece of limestone that's been engraved as a memorial. But on that day, this entire area was covered with thousands of tiny shards of aluminum, all that was left of the jetliner. I took pictures of the plane pieces next to a yellow fire hose, what looked like a cockpit window, and a twisted chunk of fuselage. As I left, I took this fateful picture and was promptly arrested. When I took the picture, I was standing here in the south parking lot. The police officer handcuffed me for violating the Pentagon's ban on photography. Seems as silly now as it did then, but I wrote him a letter, said no hard feelings, invited him for a tour of CNN. I sent along a picture of me on the air reporting later in the day after he had to let me go. He never responded. And Miles, 5 years later, one change, besides just carrying a still camera, I always carry a video camera with me wherever I go.
You know, so do I, Jamie. It's a good idea. You never know. Jamie McIntyre at the Pentagon. Thank you. Soledad.
Yeah, and I do too.